are, we're going to come straight into it, and we're coming into the shoulder bridge. A great exercise for your legs, your glutes, and mobilising your spine. So we can have, if you have one, a ring and a resistance band, okay? Fairly long, not too short, but doesn't have to be as long as this one. If you have those, go and grab those now. Come back, join me back on the mat. So what we're going to do is we're going to lie down onto your back. I'll just move these to one side so you can see what I'm doing. Bend the knees, feet and knees are placed hip distance apart. Abdominals and pelvic floor engaged, chin tucked in so we keep that length in the neck. Inhale to prepare, tilt the pelvis towards you so you flatten your back on the floor. Squeeze your buttocks and roll up, making sure that you keep that posterior pelvic tilt to you, that you don't roll the pelvis forwards, okay? So you're coming up, so we don't want to arch the back. Squeeze your bottom arms back. Inhale, exhale, arms down, and rolling back down, bone by bone by bone. Do a couple more. Roll up. Abdominals in, pelvic floor engaged. Squeeze your bottom. Arms back. Make sure your knees don't flare out to the side. Down. And lower. And peel, keep the pelvic tilt to you so that back is flat. And as you roll the rest of your spine off, bone by bone, nicely, gently peeling each one off. Keep strength in the bottom. You'll also feel it in the back of the leg, so a great one for strengthening those hamstrings. And down. And then if you have a ring, you can place the ring on the inside of the thighs. So we get a bit of inner thigh strengthening, and also your core has to work a little bit harder and your glutes having to work a little bit harder to help push those legs in towards the ring, peeling up. Make sure the pads don't rest on your knees, keeping that posterior pelvic tilt, arms back, down, and roll, and back, up, focusing on your spine, keeping your pelvic tilt towards you, not that way. So the posterior pelvic tilt, anterior is like that, posterior is like this. So again, squeeze and rolling your spine up off the mat. Focus on your spine, bone by bone. And you come as high as you can, but if you find that you can't come so high or you end up arching like that, then try not to come so far. And then arms back, arms down, and roll. Now release that, you can do as many as you like of those. Start off with say 6 or something like that, or 8, and then gradually build it up. And then if you want to, you can place the ring on the outside, so getting into those outer thighs. Peel. Make sure your knees don't flare up too much. You're squeezing and you're pushing into the pads. Roll up, keeping the posterior pelvic tilt. Remember, arms back. Keeping still, making sure your feet aren't rocking back. Exhale. Focus on keeping that tailbone tucked under, and the lower vertebrae are the last thing to come down. So you're not missing any out. Roll up. So you're not missing any vertebrae out, and you're not arching the back on the way up. If you want to, you can keep the arms there, if that's comfortable for you, and that helps you to feel the spine and the vertebrae coming down. So keep that posterior pelvic tilt, and that helps you to get all the vertebrae down, arms down. Squeeze both butt cheeks. Okay, so there's the ring, and then we have a lovely band. You place the band over your lap, not too much, not too little. So what I mean is you don't want it too tight, yeah? So that your hands are right down here and it's very, very tight, because otherwise it's going to be a lot harder for you to lift up. So find your right place. So maybe slacken off the band a little bit to begin with, and then if you find that that's too loose, then you can always tighten it up. Okay, so thumb is underneath the band and fingers are on top. Push the hand down into the band, neutral spine. So I want you to make sure your chin is tucked in and you're not going to let your hands come off the floor until you have reached the very top and you can't go any more. Then you bring those arms off. If you like to and it's comfortable, you can give that band a bit of a pull and come back down. Place the band over the lap, rolling your spine back down. Don't worry that it's going to slacken off as you roll down. That's not so important. It's keeping that resistance as you roll up. Squeeze your bottom, pushing up as you roll up through the vertebrae, bone by bone by bone by bone, up, back, down, focusing on your spine, focusing on that lovely articulation of the spine, that lovely mobility. Last one, up. You can do as many as you like. I'm just showing you a few here so you get the idea of the different versions. And then back, down, and roll. And then just bring those knees into the chest, give them a little hug, just rocking side to side. And then just stretch your legs out, arms out. Just getting that nice full body stretch. Flexing those feet, get a lovely stretch in there. So that's your shoulder bridge workouts. And then once you've mastered those, you feel good with those, or you want to try, there's also the one leg shoulder bridge, which is on my channel also, under single exercises. So enjoy that and take care now.